time that I really think I saw it, that I really knew that God was real, was middle school when my dad got saved, because there was just this drastic change when my dad got saved. He was one person and then he was a different person, and it was just shocking. And I knew it had to be the Lord. So that's when I first started going to youth. And I kind of went for about a year, and it eventually fizzled out because I was still kind of doing whatever I wanted to do and I wasn't really committed to it. And so then I went off and did my own thing. And then a couple years later, my brother got saved at youth camp. And he started getting involved. And so then there was my mom and my dad and my brother who were all saved, and I was watching them. And I think it was kind of after that that I started to feel a little bit left out almost. I felt like I didn't belong.
I came to Albuquerque broken, and brokenhearted. I had made a decision in my life where I was prosperous. I had my own business. I was living okay. And a situation happened to where I was really betrayed by the people that I put together for school board. I ran away. What I did was I found a way to run and not face the hurt, the humiliation, and all the things that I'd worked so hard for that was torn down by individuals.
I was just tired. I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going. I had plans, and I enjoyed what I was doing. I was happy with what I decided that I was going to major in and where I was going to go after school, but it didn't feel like enough. I didn't really know where I was going, what I was doing. And so I came home, and throughout college I've been going to church with my family because, you know, even if I knew I was doing my own thing. I knew that I didn't have what everyone around me did. I saw what everyone else had, and I knew I didn't have that.
So I accepted a marriage proposal in which I was really not ready for, but it was a way out. So I took it and I put everything in storage. I put everything that I had, and I left New Mexico to move to Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada. What I encountered there, it seemed like I jumped from the frying pan into the skillet. And all of that time, I didn't have a church home. I didn't have nowhere to find solace and nowhere to find comfort, because I knew that my comfort was in God, but at that time of being broken, I really didn't see it. I really didn't have, you know, when you lose yourself, you lose a lot. And my faith was wavering, and I got stranded. I went back. God told me not to go back to Vegas, and I went back. And I was stranded in the airport all night. My phone wasn't working. I could not contact anybody. I was lost and alone with nobody to trust but God.
And, you know, I don't even remember. There was one service where, I don't remember who was talking. I don't remember what he talked about. But, I was just, at the end of it, he did the little, if you want to accept Jesus in your heart, repeat after me, yada, yada, yada. And I've done this before, so I kind of said it, and, I knew I really had felt where I was like, I give up. I'm done. And so I said it, and I didn't really think anything was going to happen. And so I went 2 or 3 weeks where I was just kind of on the outside looking in. I had already thought that, I was going to come back, I was going to find a church, I was going to see if I could actually make it work this time. And I had an encounter with the Lord about 2 or 3 weeks after.
And I prayed in that airport, and that next morning, out of nowhere, my phone started working. It did not work. It would not hold a charge. It would not do nothing. God left me for him to talk to me. And that next morning, I called my cousin, and I told her I needed some money. I needed some assistance, and she sent me the money, and I flew here to Albuquerque. Not knowing I was going to be homeless. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I had to trust God then.
And I don't know what led me to think about it, but I was thinking about just how much my dad loves me, and it's by the grace of God that my dad is who he is today. And I was thinking about how much my dad loved me, and how much he does for me, and how much he would do for me. It kind of clicked for me how much more God would do for me, and my dad would do all that.
When I got to Albuquerque, my son picked me up at the airport, and he handed me a key. And that key was to an apartment down, a one-bedroom apartment down the street. And as I lived there, I would pass by this church. I got the number off the building, and I called. And Pastor James Landry answered, of course. And I was ready to let him have it, because what kind of pantry you all have? Why y'all not open? All of these questions I had. I was coming down here. Now, mind you, I'm broken. So, hurt people hurt other people. But when I got down here, Pastor Landry was here, and he showed me what all he was doing, and encouraged me, invited me in, and encouraged me to come to church, and encouraged me to come. His extension of love lifted me. But what I want to say is that prayer is the answer, and love is the answer, but most of all, God is the answer.
My mom later told me that she'd been praying for me because she knew I believed in God, but I didn't have a personal relationship with him. But she said that just before it happened, she had felt the Lord tell her to start praising him because he was going to do it for me. And he did.